Oh, yeah? We got time. We got time.
Hopefully not have to get up either.
Yeah, it's already. So.
Ready to go? We can go whenever. Good afternoon and welcome to H.A. Smith Reserve in Alamein. This is a game that could decide Heidelberg's finals chances. You have to remember, though, that they played 2 games less than Alamein, their opponents today, who are third on the table, 4 points behind second place Bulleen. Because of the fact they had a sodden pitch back in June and a very wet June in Melbourne. One of those matches is against South Melbourne, who are 5th on the table, 2 points behind Heidelberg, who've won 12, lost 7 and drawn 1. The Heidelberg team is not as strong as I'd like it to be. The number 1 goalkeeper, Christina Fenoya, has a broken nose, courtesy of the match against Bayside. So Mia Mossman will be their goal scorer today, or goalkeeper today, I should say. And they've also got Stephanie Galea away, one of their leading goal scorers with 9 goals. Lisa Fenoya is out with a foot injury, but Monica Fenoya, the youngest of the 3 sisters, is playing today. Claudia Demowski not in the side. Or Christy Demowski, I should say, not in the side. And young Rosie Thayer is a sub today for the Heidelberg team. As far as Alamein is concerned, almost at full strength as we get underway. And Jana Lawson will take first possession on the far side as they go back defensively. Emma Checker passes the ball now and they look to build down the left-hand side. Good ball comes in from Lafleur. And then it's cleaned up at the back by Mia Mossman for Heidelberg in the opening minute. Good conditions. We're on the roof again at one of the most picturesque stadiums in the competition as we get into the business end of the season. Important game. Mossman back into play. Wide ball over the sideline. A little bit errant as she gets an opportunity to start a match with no Christina Fenoya. Lafleur now at number 3 on the team list, but she's wearing number 5. Arriving late, no one can take it. Good through ball by Johnson. Back to Lafleur on halfway, goes back defensively to Checker. Checker now looks to spread to the far side. And they've got players camped on that far side. Sardo takes it. She's so important to this team. She gets it back to Yakonis. Yakonis in the short sleeves today. Long ball comes out. And it's trapped by Lafleur. Now to Checker inside the attacking half. They've got defenders at the back. Cleared nicely by Heidelberg. Loose ball again. Comes out now to Lafleur, to Johnson. Kicks into bodies. Torre defends well for Heidelberg. But Checker's in the road again as one of the most reliable defenders in the competition. She spreads now to Jessica Tay. And now to Lawson. Lawson, couple of opponents on her. Yakonis on halfway. Still in the defensive half at the Keong end or southern end. Nice ball. Jessica Tay again. On her own. Lafleur traps it. Knocks it over the top. Johnson. No, it was out. She tried to get hold of the ball, and it will be a Heidelberg ball taken by L.A. Torre, whose mum Peggy is in charge of proceedings as team manager again today. But not the team they'd like to beat, this Heidelberg team. Missing some key players. Sydney Allen traps it. 2 opponents around her. Does very, very well, then loses control of it. Good contest in the middle of the park. And Yakonis strips it from her. Gets it down out of the dangerous Alonso. Scored 19 goals. Spreads it out to the right-hand side to Lawson. 2 opponents around her. Arriving late and doing well, Boulderston, to ensure that she couldn't keep control of it. And it'll go over the sideline. Who had it last? It was off an Alamein leg. Opening couple of minutes, no scores yet. And the header goes down from Sardo, and it will be a Heidelberg ball on the far side. Again, they keep it inside their attacking half, Alamein. Well controlled, originally by Pastoral, but couldn't get enough on it to keep it in play. And Heidelberg again in possession. Down that left-hand side. Headed down by Sardo. Trapped by Lawson. Lawson under pressure. Elects to take them on. Gets towards the top of the penalty area, then spreads it out wide to Lafeur's been busy. Down the left-hand side, working hard with Torre. Forces a poor kick. Cleared by Galicio for Heidelberg. Pitches on halfway. Checker heads it back a bit dangerously. Taya's there. Taken on by Garcia, who had Tay a bit hesitant then. And in the end, good play by Checker to knock it back towards Barbieri. Gets it to halfway now. Controlling it, Alonso. Alonso the switch. Couldn't get it to Lawson. Trapped at the back by the defenders. And in the end, Alan Turner, she panicked a bit. Just outside the penalty area for Heidelberg. She put it over the sideline when she probably had enough time to turn around and spot up a player in the middle of the pitch, still in the defensive half. So it will be a throw-in for Alamein. Opening couple of minutes. They're going to the northern end, or Hawthorn end, here at H.A. Smith Reserve. Gets it down. Little ball by Lawson. Pitches inside the penalty area. Sydney Allen clears it. Gets it now to Garcia. Scored 24 goals this year. Few opponents around her. One of them Checker. Inside the attacking half. Good header, though, by Taya. She was camped defensively for Alamein. Back, though, to Heidelberg. They trap it. Good play, Galicio. Down to Torre on the right-hand side. Controlled by Anastopoulos, one of the mid-season recruits. But Lafeur gets inside it. Does well to stop her from getting away. Then she slips over back towards Anastopoulos. She crosses it to Garcia, but then good defence by Tay. And she ensures it's the first corner of the match as her ricochet off her knee roll is over the byline. And Sydney Allen getting the job of taking the corner kicks. So good contest early days. Both teams know how to score goals. Although Alamein have had a more even spread, 13, Heidelberg 9, led by Garcia with 24. Allen, low and flat, inside the area. The header comes in! It's a magnificent header, it's a goal! Terrific play inside the 10-yard box. Nothing Barbieri could do, and it was on the left-hand side of the 6-yard box. And a magnificent goal to Heidelberg. That was a terrific header. And well played by Daniela Galicio. She has scored one goal from a set piece before. That's her second goal this year. And that was a great header. She was camped on the left-hand side, a little bit loose, the defensive Alamein, and they concede an early goal. Heidelberg 1, Alamein 0, and Alamein are chasing the game at home, and they need to win this to have any chance of finishing second, you'd think. Good defence by Heidelberg, but stopped by Lafeur. Can't get the pass through, but a ricochet's back to Johnson, left-hand side. Good ball coming from Yakonis. Knocked on again by Pastor, Sardo, Lawson. All on the right-hand side. Lawson cutting inside to the top of the penalty area. Brought down. But it's a free kick just outside the penalty area, so not a penalty. She's about 3 metres outside. She was brought down illegally. So a free kick to be taken by Alamein. And a possible opportunity to level it. Beautiful flat cross, whipped in superbly by Sydney Allen, and she was able to spot a loose Galicio on that left-hand side on the edge of the 6-yard box, and she put it away. Nothing a diving, despairing Barbieri could do. So Sardo will take the kick. Alonso's right next to her. 2 defenders right in front of her. She lobs it up to the top of the 6-yard box. It goes right across the face. Controlled again. The header comes down from Johnson, but only at the bootlaces of Mossman, camped right in the heart of the goal mouth. And no harm done for Heidelberg, a lead 1-0 early days. Down the left-hand side, the kick by Turners into bodies and over the sideline, and Heidelberg regained possession just outside the penalty area in their defensive half. They head it down that right-hand side with a long ball. Good control by Garcia. Pass comes from Balderston. On the run now is Anastopoulos. Lafeur is with her for company. Anastopoulos cuts inside, close to the byline, over the byline. Goal kick for Alamein. Just ran out of room then, Anastopoulos, giving Heidelberg a bit of run and vim and vitality. Missing a number of key players today, but doing a good job. As Garcia gives it out to Checker, the skipper. Schneider, again, a key member of this side, starting as a sub. A good player to have as a sub. one of their American imports for Alamein. Spread wide by Yaconis, Goff, Lawson. Tay. The coach of Alamein saying take the space. Check a long lobbing ball. The Furs on her own. Two opponents in pursuit. One of them Anastopoulos. She does well to cross it right across to the goal area. Great knock away by Mossman. She was inside the 6-yard box. She ensured that it got away from her and the defenders, but back to Lawson for Alamein. And then Tay, her pass had too much on it, cleared by the Heidelberg defence. But again, camped at halfway is Tay for Alamein. Gets it back now to Checker. Checker running unimpeded down the left-hand side. Back to the middle of the pitch again. Oh, missed badly by Yaconis. That was slack. Balderston storms through. Too much for Allen. Then Checker comes across her bows. Goes long, too long as she switches to Lawson on the far side. And it will be a Heidelberg ball on halfway. They lead 1-0. Terrific header from a wonderful cross through a corner kick. Allen to Galicio for Galicio's second goal of the season. And Heidelberg's 59th in total. Down the left-hand side go Alamein again, or right-hand side I should say. Galicio's there to get a little boot on it. And it is deemed, though, that the last team to have a touch was Alamein. Attacking it hard. Garcia doesn't know where the ball is. Looks to keep it alive, but she can't. Scored 2 recently against Geelong after being goalless for quite a long period of time. Ball thrown back inside the defensive half to Tay. And now Checker. And Lafleur passing to Johnson. Back to Lafleur. 4 opponents around her. One of them Allen. Back to halfway and Checker. Inside ball to Johnson. Clever player Lucy Johnson. She's been kept honest as she goes out to the right-hand side. Rovers was there as a holding midfielder. Working hard as Sardo. Cuts a couple of opponents inside out. One of them Allen. To Alonso inside the penalty area, but turned over again by Heidelberg. Garcia couldn't get there in time. Balderston can from the little pass from Tay. Down that left-hand side. Tay's in pursuit. It's all red and blue shirts of Alamein, so they can control it at the back inside the defensive half at the southern end. Tay. Checker. Lafleur into the body of Anastopoulos. Turned over at midway by Robers. Allen, Heidelberg winning possession, takes her time, almost run down. Good play by Pastor to keep her honest. Then got it to Sabre. Heidelberg in possession. Good through ball. Too much on it. Bridie Siri also out of the Heidelberg side today through injury. So a few of their regular starters not there. And they're doing a good job as they lead 1-0. Barbieri to Checker. Down that left-hand side. Johnson just keeps it alive as Torre wanted it to go out. And in the end, she puts it over the sideline. Good contest by both players right on the edge of the byline. And a good start here by Heidelberg. They beat Alamein earlier in the season when Alamein had a stop-start beginning to the season. But they annihilated them here when they last met, 6-1, the halfway mark of the year. Johnson wins it inside the penalty area, but a shot to the right-hand side is a stray. She had a bit of space and just couldn't quite control it as well as she would have liked. Looking for her 10th goal of the campaign. So Heidelberg ball, Mia Mossman in for the injured, Christina Fenoy, Lisa Fenoy out as well. The youngest of the Fenoy sisters playing Monica. Galicio, high ball, bouncing away from oncoming players in the middle of the pitch. Won by Balderston. Got it down now to the classy Garcia. Can't control it though, as Jessica Tay was hustling and bustling her, forcing her over the sideline. Alamein's ball. She goes back. Ashley Lafleur told to push up by the coaching staff. Checker's pass nearly went behind her. She nearly pushed up too much. Now she controls it. Gets to halfway. Gets a little boot on it, but not enough on it past all. Stopped at the back by Monica Fenoya. Now to Allen. Heidelberg's defence good at the moment. Turnover again. Meeting it nicely is Lafleur. Inside ball to Pastor. Pastor will switch to Lawson. A little bit slow to run onto it is Lawson, but she wins it now, and she nearly chested it down to her teammate in Sardo. She has Boulderston for company. Goes towards Sardo, and then it's over the sideline on a good contest with Alan Turner, but it will be Alamein's ball just inside their attacking half on the right-hand side. They trail 1-0. Lawson's ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Alonso got a little header on it, didn't know where it was. Now it sits for Johnson. She can score from long range. We've seen it at this venue on a couple of occasions. Passes it out wide now. Taken by Lafleur. Couple of opponents around her. Kicks into bodies. One of them, Anastopoulos. Stopped cleverly. Good play by Rovers. Rovers' pass is all right. Passed on by Boulderston, but leaving her home, which is the penalty area and also the box, is Barbieri. And then she passes it cleverly out to Checker. Checker switches out to the right-hand side. And Sardo now on a searching run. In short to Lawson. Back to Sardo, looking to try and pick her way through opponents. On the edge of the area is Lawson, coming in from the right-hand side to the top of the box. Shot misses. Good effort by Alamein as they were searching for opportunities. Lemieux was the one that got boot to ball in and couldn't quite finish it off. 1-0 the scoreline. Heidelberg an early goal. Back into play again. Not a good kick back into play by Mia Mossman. Here's Checker at halfway. Gets it now to Lafleur. Lafleur to Johnson. Johnson back to Lafleur. Lafleur now goes backwards to Tay. Tay has been very solid again in defence. Camped just a few metres from halfway in the defensive half as they bring it out the right-hand side. Sardo, her ball had too much on it. Just a bit sloppy as they try and put their passes together here, Alamein. And Heidelberg lead 1-0. Pleasant winter's afternoon. It's more got an autumnal feel about it, or even a spring feel about it, not far away from spring. As we approach August, Garcia wins it in the defensive half for Heidelberg. Good ball. Galicio, the goal scorer, cut off at halfway by Lafleur, though, for Alamein. Now to Johnson. Johnson met the other way. Good play to bring it aground by Sabre. Now it slips out the left-hand side for Alamein to Lafleur and Alonso. Good pressure by Heidelberg, making Alamein earn every pass. Now Checker wins it. Checker towards the top of the penalty area. Pass had too much on it for Pastor. Turned over now, but kicking into bodies is Boulderston and put over the sideline by the Alamein defence. It's 1-0. And it will be taken at halfway by Ali Torre. It's a family affair with the Torres. We mentioned Peggy, her mum, is the team manager. Her dad involved as well, as Torre throws it back into play, but it's headed over the sideline by Alamein. Back inside the attacking half for Heidelberg at the southern end. Anastopoulos trying to control it with the taller figure of Lafleur for Alamein. Got it back. Cleared by Checker, only momentarily. Allen again, little pass out wide. Anastopoulos is there again, but kicks into Checker, who does well to put it over the byline. The second corner of the day. We know the first corner of the day resulted in a goal for Heidelberg. Sensei, the coach of Alamein, as he does, barking instructions from the sideline. His team chasing the game early days, 1-0. And this wouldn't be a good result for South Melbourne should Heidelberg win, knowing they're already a game behind South Melbourne, number of games played. It's a nice corner again, but headed away by the Alamein defence, only as far as Monica Fenoya, well inside her attacking half, but chopped off by Johnson. Johnson does well to brush off opponents, but her pass is stopped by Alan Turner at the back for Heidelberg, and it's allowed to go through to Barbieri. A slight lapse in communication between her and Tay as they were watching the ball, but they were the only two players around it. Barbieri got it to Checker. Down the left-hand side, in pursuit is Johnson. Torres on the right side, and she'll put it over the sideline. Good defensive play by Ali Torre, who's been an unsung hero for Heidelberg in defence all year. So Lucy Johnson will take it. for Alamein, down 1-0 in the first half. Last game of round 23, 4 more rounds before the finals. And put over the sideline again by Alonso. Couldn't control it. And the coach is not happy. He tends to have a go at his best striker, wanting her to do more. I remember a game very early in the season when they drew 1-1 with a Bayside team that was a much stronger team than it is now, with Anastopoulos playing for Heidelberg, Rabin now playing for Bulleen, Georgopoulos in South Melbourne colours, along with Rendis in South Melbourne colours, and they really should have won the game. It was a very late goal scored by Alamein, and he was quite furious with what Rachel Alonso produced that day. But she has scored 19 goals, leading goal scorer. Ball taken by Lafleur inside the penalty area, attacking half for Alamein, but it's cleared by the defence of Heidelberg. Good play by Anastopoulos, but stopped at the back again as they've managed to get free and isolate each other and make sure they stop it at the back, Alamein. Sardo down to Lawson, down the right-hand side, looking to cut inside the penalty area. It's a clever pass. Lemieux to the top of the 6-yard box. Cleared again, though. Good defence by Galicio. Their defence has been good, Heidelberg, so far. But again, it's stopped at halfway by Alamein. Lafleur to a charging checker. Down the left-hand side, Anastopoulos is there to meet her for company. She gets it towards the 6-yard box. Alonso tried the scissor kick, got it down at the bootlaces of Pastor, but she puts it wide, just outside the 6-yard box. And again, the coach not happy with Alonso, that she maybe could have done more, but you could see there was an opponent hanging right off her. As she tried to drop it down, he did say there was no one around you. Well, there was, right next to her. It's being a bit harsh, I think, but anyway, he knows the game better than I ever will. 1-0, Heidelberg leading. Monica Fenoya gets it down. L.A. Torre has trouble controlling it over the sideline. A ball for Alamein inside their attacking half, just outside the penalty area. The throw lands. Lafleur again's been good to Johnson. Sydney Allen's with her. Pushes her off. Gets it back now to Yaconis. Yaconis switches, but defensively a bit too. Puts Sardo under the pump. The pass a little bit long for Lemieux. Has a couple of opponents with her. Sardo has to go back. Good defence by Heidelberg, pushing Alamein back whenever they can. They're inside the defensive half. Check it back to halfway. And Yaconis with the knee bandage. And now Tay has been good so far. Out to the right-hand side. Good ball. Lemieux waiting for it from Sardo. Couldn't control a Pastor. Lawson pounces just inside the sideline. Lawson loves to cut inside. Has to go back because there's so many yellow and black shirts controlling the penalty area. That's a good cross ball. Sits nicely for Lafleur. Now to Johnson. Johnson towards the edge of the area. Taken by Pastor. And then a defender's boot got past Mossman, who didn't have it controlled in the box. Luckily for Heidelberg, it wasn't an own goal. It just went past the goal face and over the byline for the first corner kick of the day for Alamein. Could have been an own goal, but it wasn't. As they panicked just slightly, there's so many numbers back, as I said, in that penalty area and even getting towards the edge of the 6-yard box, Heidelberg, but they couldn't control it. They almost put it through for an own goal. 1-0 the lead for Heidelberg, an early goal from a corner, the first corner of the day. Sydney Allen found the head of Daniela Galicio. Nice corner. In fact, it wasn't as good as it looked originally off the boot, as it rolled aimlessly over the goal face and through the penalty area. Controlled at the back by Pastor. She couldn't get a decent pass on it. Nearly turned over. Pastor does well to hold on to her opponent to try and get it back after not making enough of that pass, but the ref has deemed that she was holding illegally onto the shirt of the long-sleeved Alan Turner, as you can see on our coverage today for Football Victoria, along with Savannah Anastopoulos and Garcia, the only 3 players wearing long sleeves. As Jana Lawson, some miscellaneous information for you. Jana Lawson heads down that right-hand side, but right with her is Turner. She's trying to weave her way through opponents. Rovers comes out to help Turner, and she goes wide to Sano. High ball, good play by Johnson to control it. Couldn't control it enough though, and then getting in past her on the edge of the penalty area to keep it inside the attacking half for Alamein. One pass too many. Chopped off by Monica Fenua. But Checker is there, just inside the attacking half. Her pass almost run down. Getting a boot on at Lemieux. Keeping it alive and in possession for Alamein. Taken by Sardo down that right-hand side. Lawson running out of room. Crosses it to the 6-yard box. Nice header by Monica Fanua. Gets it out of the danger zone for the time being for Heidelberg. Back towards Lemieux. Lobs it up. But Monica Fanua's there on the edge of the 6-yard box. Clears it for Heidelberg again. Getting a boot in the road, Jaconis. Still inside the attacking half for Alamein. And Johnson. Sardo running rough shot for her on the outside, on the right-hand side. Met though by Garcia. Good two-way running by the star striker. Good ball, finds Lawson. Lawson back inside the penalty area to the top of the 6-yard box. Going in hard as Mossman. She lost it. She tried to stick a boot out to clear the area. Monica Fanua was with her. And Rachel Alonso came in late to try and finish it off for Alamein, but luckily Mossman was there and her hands all over the ball in that 6-yard box and saved the day for Heidelberg. Long ball inside the attacking half. They're playing high, the defenders of Alamein, and headed back by Tay to Barbieri, who's given away that early goal. An excellent header from a great corner cross. Allen to Galicio, and Heidelberg leading 1-0. Now the switch is on again from Alamein, as they often do. Yaconis, Sardo down the right-hand side, met by Garcia, has to chip it back to midfield, and she finds Checker. Checker now, Sydney Allen approaching her. Out to the right-hand side again. Heidelberg holding a 1-0 lead in the first half. Through ball Sardo, Alonso, she couldn't control it, and the defenders are there. Alan Turner's there, and it is over the byline. Last touch was Rachel Alonso, and the coach again is frustrated as he talks to his bench about Alonso not being on at the moment. But she did have two opponents on her, which is always a tough task in any sport, to try and beat two opponents. They know she's one of the keys with 19 goals, but they've got other goal avenues too, as Mossman for the third time has put it over the sideline with a poor pass. Turnover inside the attacking half. Lefeur gets it back to Checker, back to Lefeur, back to Checker. They wax lyrical on halfway. He's in the defensive half now, Checker for Alamein. Back now to Tay, the most defensive of the defenders outside the goalkeeper. Goes to the right-hand side to Lemieux. Jacqueline Lemieux chips it now to Lawson. Lawson, though, had a player offside further up the field, and a bad error by Alamein. They got slightly ahead of themselves. Julia Sardo was a player that got ahead thinking she may be a chance here, but Lawson didn't really have control. Turnover from the throw against Heidelberg. Still inside the attacking half for Alamein. Down the right-hand side, Lawson's there, but Turner arrives first, looking to clear for Heidelberg. Down the left, good play by Alonso to hassle her and force it over the sideline, and Alamein win the ball. Certainly having more of the ball inside their attacking half, but they're down 1-0. Pastor controls it. Got it to Lawson. Cuts to the top of the penalty area. Put over the sideline by Rovers, who was there again. For Heidelberg. It's going to be a free kick, actually, before it went over the sideline, to be taken by Alamein on that right-hand side, 5 metres outside the penalty area. Looking to whip it in to the top of the 6-yard box where most of the players are stationed. Takes the pace off it. Looking for Lawson. Couldn't get there. Headed down in front. Good defence by Heidelberg to the bootlaces of Garcia. Garcia, though, pass nearly turned over. But well played by Allen to take it away. But getting in the road is Lefeur, and she'll go back to the goalkeeper, Barbieri. One of the all-time greats of women's football. On the left, Barbieri. He did spend some time at Heidelberg. And Checker. Back now to Sardo. Her pass is turned over as Parsor couldn't control it. Allen wins it now for Heidelberg. Two opponents around her. Goes out to Boulderston. Back to Allen. Too much on it. Will be a goal kick for Alamein, who trail 1-0. Good contest. Bill Michaelides, you'd be quite happy, the Heidelberg coach here. The coach telling a couple of his Alamein players not to play inside. Alona Yaconis, one of those. Too many players inside, as you can probably hear. Lawson gets it to Alonso at the top of the penalty area. She looks to chip back to Lawson. Can she control it? She thrust a boot out. She couldn't. It's over the byline again. They're just getting tucked in on that right-hand side at the moment, Alamein. Heidelberg happy with that as they get their numbers back. Camped centrally inside the penalty area in the defensive half. Alamein are looking up as they're trying to run through the middle of the pitch, and they can see Fenoya, they can see Torre, they can see Saver, among others. Headed down. Good play by Alamein to keep it in the attacking half. Getting the nod from behind with Sardo. Turned over by Heidelberg, but only as far as Tay. Boulderston's with her. Has to go back now to Checker. Sagging off. Ready to make a run. To receive the ball is Lafleur. Now to Johnson. With her is Torre. Johnson's at halfway. Allen's with her now. Goes back again. Tay's on her own. Heidelberg allowing Tay to get a lot of the ball in the defensive half. She approaches the attacking half of the searching run to Lawson, who's camped very close to that right-hand sideline. Now she wins it. Does well to lob it to herself. Charging away through to the top of the area. Kept alive by Johnson. Too much on the pass. It'll spill over the byline. Once again, Heidelberg's defence very good. Just playing the way that they want to play. There's a touch, even early days here, a long way from halfway with their 1-0 lead, that they're protecting it with the parking the bus mentality, just getting numbers back whenever they can, making Alamein have to try and pick their way through a very strong defence. Mia Mossman, low and flat. Missed by Allen. Stopped at the back. Camp there is Checker. Tay. Switching it to the right-hand side. Sardo leaves it for Lawson. Lawson looking to take them on. Garcia's with her. Does well to come across her path, put it over the sideline and give her team Heidelberg some more thinking time inside their attacking half. Lawson throws it to Alonso at the top of the penalty area. She can't control it. Now she can. Turner's with her. She's running out of room and it's over the byline. Both teams put their hands up. Which way is it going? It's going to be a goal kick. Although Alamein are saying they think Heidelberg had the last touch. Heidelberg are saying they think Alamein had the last touch. The ref has the final say. He's gone the way of the goal kick for Heidelberg. Monica Fenoya receives from Mossman. Now to LA Torre. It's coming back. It's coming back. And Bill Michelides, the coach of Heidelberg, is not happy. So is it a corner kick now? There is confusion galore here. Reigns supreme at H.A. Smith Reserve. Yeah, it's going to be a corner kick. So we'll see what Sardo can do with this kick. Looking to get it deep. Whipping it in towards the 6-yard box. Takes the pace off it. Headed away though. Good defence by Saver for Heidelberg. One down by Alan Turner on the left-hand side. With her is Pastor. She harassed her nicely and they keep it inside the attacking half again. I've got a feeling that Sensei, the coach of Alamein, will give his players a spray. We look forward to that at half-time. Lafleur, Checker. Back to Lafleur. In the defensive half for Alamein. Tay, an unimpeded run inside the attacking half. Pushes it out wide. Lawson. Sardo. Tay. In control. But again, they get numbers back. Allen comes to approach Checker, who receives now for Alamein. Looking for Lafleur, but she just couldn't get anywhere near that ball. Alonso at the top of the penalty area, cleared beautifully by Anastopoulos, but taken by Lawson. Lawson will get it out to Sardo. Sardo will cut inside, 5 metres out of the penalty area, looking for Pastor, getting a boot on it and putting it over the sideline. The robust defender Saber for Heidelberg, and Alamein will get going again. Through Jana Lawson. Lawson's pass. I think there might have been a header on that for Heidelberg. Another corner, the third corner of the day for Alamein at the northern end, the right-hand side. Four points behind going into this round. In third position, Alamein from Bulleen in second, who've won their last 5 going into round 23. They've only conceded 1 goal in that time and scored 21 themselves after their 4-2 loss to the rampaging Calder. Nice deep ball to the 6-yard box, headed away. Both teams get a bit on it. trying to boot it in, but not able to control it. Yaconis for Alamein. Here's Garcia, but too many red and blue shirts around. Lafleur is there, charging onto it, had too much on it. It's over the sideline. Emma Checker believes there might have been a ricochet from Heidelberg, and she's not happy about that. The young sideline judge, she was confident. Good on her. She's put the flag up indicating it's Heidelberg's ball. Well done. If she believes it's that way, it's that way. She's got to make a split-second decision. There's no replays or anything like that, or Hawkeye. And now it's Alamein's ball. Emma Checker wasn't happy. She's got to forget about it. Move on. Lafleur down the left-hand side. Alonso chests it. Back now in the direction of Lafleur. Lafleur to Checker, who's controlling things nicely, just inside the attacking half. She'll switch again. She's got Sardo on her own. Lawson as well, who to me, though, is still camped way too close to the sideline on that right-hand side. Now Tay receives mid-pitch, just in the defensive half. Back to Checker in the attacking half. Back to Tay. They wax lyrical because, again, Heidelberg have got their numbers back. Good ball to Pastor. Turned over cleverly. Well played by Rovers. It's been terrific for Heidelberg. Now to Allen, who bustles her way through. Balderston kept it going. Garcia's there. But Checker allowed the ball to get to Lafleur, who wasn't quite ready for it. Garcia gets a little boot in it, but well controlled by Lafleur. Through ball, though, chopped off by Monica Fenoya. Gets a little pass at halfway to Allen. Heidelberg leading 1-0 and controlling the ball at the moment. Down the right-hand side, in front of our commentary position. We're broadcasting from the roof, which we love here at Alamein, particularly when the weather's fine, as it has been. Throughout most of the 5 occasions I've been lucky enough to call here. And Heidelberg have control with a free kick in their attacking half. And they haven't gone forward a lot, but when they did go forward, they got a penalty, not a penalty, a corner, I should say, that was whipped in beautifully. Lobbing it in, taking the pace off it by Allen, who again gets a deep one towards the 6-yard box. It's cleared away, volleyed away by the defensive Alamein. Allen's there again, had it turned over by Johnson. Helping her out though, terrific work coming the other way was Galicio. Back now to Allen, over the sideline. Sabre involved as well, and it will be an Alamein ball. And Lafleur's been good today. She goes back now to Checker, who wants to control things well at the back, just outside the penalty area. Defending at the southern end, her team down 1-0. This will be their 5th loss if they lost today. Long ball by Tay. Alonso not tall enough. Good header, Monica Fenoya. Controlled by Anastopoulos. Scissor kicks it on, but only as far as Checker. Checker at the back for Alamein. She's got Tay again in the central defensive location if she wants her. She goes in short to Lafleur on the left. But again, back to Checker. Headed away again by Sabre. Controlled at the back by Galicio, the goal scorer. Down the left-hand side, intercepted by Tay. Tay gets it to Sardo. Sardo on a long loping run on the right. Cuts inside, but again the defence is good. Garcia's there for Heidelberg. Lots of yellow and black jumpers there, but getting involved is Checker. That's a good ball to Hannah Lawson. Jana Lawson, I should say, is camped on the right-hand side. She controls to her own advantage, but then has 3 opponents she has to try and work her way through. In the end, slides it out to Yaconis. Yaconis got it to Lafleur, to Lawson, top of the penalty area. And then a lot of numbers are back for Heidelberg. Allen gets a boot on it and turns it over. Well played as it slips to Balderston. Back to Allen. And then 2 opponents overwhelm her. One of them, Tay. Tay does well to just get it past Garcia. And then she leaves her in a wake. Now she has LA Torre putting pressure on her. Goes out wide now to Lafleur. But her pass, it was a nice cross, is well and truly chested brilliantly down to the advantage of Heidelberg by Monica Fenoya. Then taken by Tay. Kicks into the body of Sydney Allen. Rebounds back to Lafleur. And now Tay. And now Checker. And now Sardo. They win possession. They're getting so much possession, but not really in a goal-scoring position. Here's Alonso. She gets it, or tried to get it to Johnson, headed away by Turner, bounces to Turner's advantage before it goes out of play, and Turner now down that left-hand side. She turns it over badly, though. Sardo was equal to the occasion. Back to Johnson with a little pass inside. She switches to the middle of the pass. Arriving is Lafleur, the middle of the pitch, I should say. Lafleur then lost it, regained it, just beat Savannah Anastopoulos, who nearly tripped over. Now Lawson has it. She switches to Sardo from the left to the right. Can she control it? She can. Now meeting her Rovers. Back towards the penalty area. She can't control it, Lamu. They just can't control the end pass, Alamein. This would frustrate the coaching staff. And now Heidelberg can slow it down through Boulderston. Allen nearly had it turned over by Lafleur. Nearly is the operative word, and Sydney Allen good enough to control with 4 opponents around her. Spreads it out now to LA Torre. Torre down the right-hand side. Heidelberg inside their attacking half. Dangerous position for Anastopoulos. Cuts inside Lafleur. Got it back to Torre. 2 opponents near her. Tay gets it towards the byline. A great contest between the 2 defenders. Torre of Heidelberg. Jessica Tay doing a good job of Alamein, but Tay had the last touch. It's going to be a corner kick for Sydney Allen of Heidelberg, and they lead 1-0. Parry and thrust. The defence of Heidelberg has been superb. They've just got numbers back. And every time Alamein have tried to go through the middle, they've just got yellow and black shirts in front of them. This is a good lobbing ball. Well inside the penalty area. Cleared by Lawson. Almost cleared by Johnson. Cleared by Yakonis with a bandage on her leg. Easy to see through a sea of players. Back though to Heidelberg at halfway. Good play Turner. Turner now to Sabre just inside the attacking half. Lobbed over the top by Monica Fenoya, but at the back will be Barbieri to clean up for Alamein. She conceded a goal early. Now Babs passes nicely out to Tay. Tay will come out the right-hand side for Alamein. They're on halfway. Sardo giving them drive. Pass almost turned over by Rovers. Slips down to Pastor, who's been having trouble controlling the ball and getting passes to her teammates. That one worked to Lawson. Lawson comes inside to the top of the penalty area. Good play, though, by Heidelberg to stop it as she squared it up nicely. There was no one there on the end of that, and that would annoy the coaching staff no end. That was good play by Lawson. She nearly ran out of room and she passed it, but there was no one there to finish it off in between the penalty area and the 6-yard box. In the end, they win possession again through Lafleur. Lobbed away into a dangerous location by Torre, and then very, very good play by Pastor to put a body on the line, ensure Torre couldn't get a boot on it and try and clear it, or couldn't make Pastor get a boot on it to make it a goal kick. So it's another corner for Alamein, who trail 1-0, approaching half-time. An early goal to Heidelberg, courtesy of Daniela Galicio, her second of the year, from a terrific corner whipped in, and she headed it away past a flailing Barbieri. That was a corner kick that, again, was a bit aimless, right across the goal face, but they've got numbers to try and trap it. Tay does, down the right-hand side, running out of room, Lawson again, and it's over the sideline once more. Heidelberg had the last touch. Can't stop singing the praises of the Heidelberg defence, working in unison. I remember a match earlier in the year at Heidelberg West, their home ground, Warrior territory, and the defence was very good against Bulleen that day. We know how good Bulleen are. That was a long lobbing ball in from Tay, from well outside the penalty area, and lunging forward to take it Mossman, who's the goalkeeper, in for an injured Christine Fenoya, who broke a nose last week against Bayside. Goes high inside the attacking half. Nodded down by Checker. Good defensive nod. Still inside the attacking half for Heidelberg. Taya's there again. She's been good. Checker back to Lafleur. Inside ball, too much on it for Parser, who's flat-footed again. Taken by Sabre. Looks for a way through. Too much on it for Garcia. And that'll go over the byline as Lafleur was aware of her surroundings on that move forward by Heidelberg, making sure that Heidelberg didn't get in a dangerous position. They didn't. So 1-0 for Heidelberg. Be a great win for them. Give them some breathing space, knowing they've played 2 games less than everyone else and 1 game less than their main rival, South Melbourne, who are 2 points behind them going into this round. Alamein down the right-hand side. And again, they can't keep the ball alive. This has been their problem. It's been the last pass. They've been okay getting it to halfway and inside the attacking half, and then to try and find a pass in the final third, particularly the penalty area to get in a dangerous location, has been the issue for Alamein so far. So they've been a bit off in that area today. It's brought back into play by Mossman, cleaned up at the back on halfway, still in the defensive half for Alamein by Checker. Checker to Lafleur. Lafleur down the left-hand side. And Johnson over the sideline. And she's frustrated. They'll all be frustrated. They've been outplayed a little bit here. They've certainly had more of the ball, but they've been outplayed defensively by Heidelberg, who are well organised today. They'll be very happy with what they're achieving, leading 1-0. LA Torre, such a solid member of this team, LA Torre, and it's over the sideline. It will be a Heidelberg ball again, taken by the reliable young defender, whose mum is below us, sitting next to Coach Bill Michaelidis. That was off the arm, I think, of Lafleur as it headed down the right-hand side for Heidelberg. So it will be again a Heidelberg ball. And Ellie Torre has it again. Doing the job to throw it back into play, looking for options. Eyes are spinning. Oh, got it to Sydney Allen. Gee, she had two opponents around her, and once again, Alamein had the last touch. Lucy Johnson saying, I'm not sure. She tried to get a header on that. So did Tay. And a real lull in proceedings this time. It's a turnover to go Alamein's way. Throw down to Pastor, who's been hustled and bustled and just doesn't look to be in the game today, as Allen was clever with the sliding pass to her American counterpart on the right-hand side in Garcia, but had too much on it, just on the outside. And Sensei telling his team, Alamein, to throw at the feet, not at the head. Tay. Good ball to Sano at halfway, but again, they've got all their numbers back. Every single player for Heidelberg in their defensive half. The most attacking player, Sydney Allen, who approaches Checker now. Johnson couldn't control it. Allen turns it over again, cleverly and exquisitely, but she'll run out of room with two opponents around her, and Checker not far away, down the sideline and over the sideline. He is going to give them a massive spray, Sensei, and their change rooms are just below us. Told to throw it back in again. It's a turnover. The throw was seen as not being good enough, and Emma Checker's asked the question, what's wrong with it? And the ref's not saying anything. He's telling them to get on with it, and Torre has the ball now. She gets it down at the bootlaces of Anastopoulos, who has trouble controlling it, but the last touch was again Alamein. Gee, a bit of a lull at the moment. It's all being played on the sideline. Approaching the throw-in from Torre was Balderston, but turned over by Alamein. Then a good header at the back by Fenoya. Got it down to Galicia, the goal scorer. In the road, volleying it is Yakonis. They're saying that Yakonis couldn't control it, might have had handball. Just get on with it, Alamein. They're trying to referee this game without actually playing football. Turnover by Pastor. And eventually Heidelberg get the numbers in, and they knock it back inside their attacking half. Cleaned up at the back by Lafleur to Barbieri. Tay allows it to pass through to Sardo, who's on the right-hand side on her own and can get running again because Heidelberg like to sag back. But she kicks into Garcia. That's a poor pass. Back though to Sardo, Lux of Fortune. Now to Pastor, now to Sardo, now to Lawson. Lawson still camped a bit wide for mine. Good inside ball to Yakonis. Yakonis now to Checker at halfway. Checker's got Lafleur running for her on the left-hand side and wanting her to pass it to her, but she doesn't. She goes back to Tay in midfield. Allen approaches her. Now wide to Sardo. Sardo a little ball towards Lawson. Lawson back to Tay. Tay working her way through will switch to Checker, the skipper. Checker chests it inside the attacking half at the northern end. Alamein trailing 1-0, and her team Alamein has the ball but lobs it straight inside the penalty area, and it is half time, and it was well chested down, well defended by Monica Fanua. Excellent first half by Heidelberg. They scored early through the first corner of the day, a wonderfully taken corner by Sydney Allen. She took the pace of it and camped on the left-hand side, just in the 6-yard box. Daniela Galicio put it away. The defenders were not as organised as they should have been for Alamein. Got it past Barbieri, and they lead 1-0. And the defence has been absolutely sensational. A bit of parking of the bus as Emma Checker speaks to the ref now. I think they just need to forget about it, Alamein. They've got to have their head in the game. They're down 1-0. They need to win this game to stay in touch with the top two. They'll play finals. Heidelberg know how important this game is to put a lot of pressure on South Melbourne, who have played one more game than them. Heidelberg needing to make up a couple of games due to poor weather in June, which saw their pitch seen as unacceptable to play on. But a terrific half of footy by Heidelberg. The Warriors lead 1-0. We'll take a break and be back with the second half from H.A. Smith Reserve at Alamein shortly. Welcome back to H.A. Smith Reserve. Heidelberg leading 1-0, and as we thought, since the coach of Alamein, early stages of the half-time break, where we are, we're broadcasting from the roof and the change rooms are underneath us, and he gave them an absolute spray. And they've made a couple of changes. Two of their better players, indicates how strong they are when they play as a team, and they haven't played as a team, Alamein. Taylor Schneider, one of their American imports, who started as a sub, she's come on and she'll play in defence. And Catherine Goff has also come on, who scored 7 goals this year. So a couple of good players on. And just trying to work out who's off. Gee, I think she's a bit unlucky if she's off, but she is off. Ashley Lafleur, I thought was pretty good. Number 5. Process of elimination. She's been pretty good, so she's one of the players off. And Heidelberg will get first possession. But no, we've got to start again. Thought the ref was starting to lose a bit of control of that game near the end of the first half as well. Certainly Alamein did. Emma Checker was getting too involved in the decisions and not on the game as they go back again through Galicio. Good header by Tay inside the attacking half. Missed by Allen. Johnson on the burst. A little pass outside the Pastor. Missed by Checker. And then there's Sano, who gave her all in the first half. She tried to get a pass to Goff to get her involved down the left-hand side, and she wasn't able to control it. Heidelberg leading 1-0, early stages second half. Jacqueline Lemieux is the other player that's gone off for the Alamein team. As Heidelberg get it inside their attacking half, ball got away from the Alamein defenders because they're very high, the way they stand as defenders, almost on the halfway mark. Tay goes down the right-hand side, headed defensively, though, by Turner. Through ball from Alamein, cut off again at the back by Galicio. Gets a little one to Balderston, inside to Robers. Robers now to Allen, still in the defensive half for Heidelberg. Back to Galicio, controlled at the back though by Tay of Alamein. Now to Checker, she's playing more in a midfield role because Schneider's gone back in defence. They both play the same role. Down the right-hand side now, good ball. Comes in from Turner, now to Garcia at the top of the penalty area. And Tay just drops it back to Barbieri, puts the left boot into it. Thrusts it to halfway, controlled by Checker. Checker gets it out to Lawson. Lawson has trouble controlling it. She can't get much on it. Intercepted by the upper shoulder of Alan Turner. It balloons around, still inside the attacking half for Alamein. Tay, back to Lawson. Love standing right on the edge of the sideline. Back now to Schneider. One of the two subs they brought on at half-time, Alamein. Schneider and Goff for Lemieux and Lafleur. Down the left-hand side. Hasn't been a good first half for Alonso. And I'm sure she received a spray. Back now to Goff. Goff at the top of the penalty area, but there's no one on the end of that. Flat-footed was Lawson. Flat-footed was Pastor, who seems to be off a game today. And the defence of Heidelberg able to clear it momentarily. But they get it back inside the attacking half, Alamein. Only as far, though, of Torre down the left-hand side. In fact, Rovers, I should say. Now she gets it to Garcia. Garcia scored 24 goals this year. It started the season in a blaze of glory. Good switch ball to Anastopoulos. Tried to get it to Allen. Good defence at the back again, though, by Yakonis. And now they can try and set something up through Sano. Down towards Alonso, I should say Sardo to Alonso, and she can't control it. And this is annoying the coach. I'm sure annoying Alamein supporters that are here today against Heidelberg, that they're not stringing passes together, despite getting a barrelling from the coach at half-time. He stripped the paint off the walls, but we expected that. Here's Alonso running out of room, brought down by Monica Fenoya, the only one of the Fenoya sisters playing today. Christina a broken nose and Lisa a foot injury. And I had her not playing, and she said to me, I'm playing. And Alamein in possession. Taylor Schneider to Tay, trying to take the ball forward as issued by the coach, but Lawson couldn't get control of it. Put over the sideline again. Good defence by Turner. Good throw by Tay, the bootlaces of Checker, which is what the coach wants. Checker now will go for a long ball, well stopped, but only momentarily by Mossman. She did well to come across the left-hand side. That was a good curling ball from a long way out from the penalty area. Good low ball by Emma Checker, and she did well to parry across her goal mouth as she knew the ball was going to dip Mossman, played it in front, and in the end the defenders of Heidelberg rushed it over the byline for a penalty kick. Back into play, low ball, missed by Fanoia at the back. It's cleared by Rovers, but only as far as Pastor. Pastor kicks into bodies at the top of the penalty area. Back now to Tay. Allen's in the road, puts her body on the line as Tay tried to throw a boot at it, and it rebounds out now to Lawson inside the attacking half. She goes back now, allowing her teammate to sag back and take the ball. This is Sardo. Sardo looking for a searching run. She does down that left-hand side towards Yakonis. Yakonis goes wide now to Goff. Another one of the subs. Goff a through ball, but the defender's good. Monica Fanoy lost control of it, regained it. Then she turns it over, trying to control it past Orr. Good when she has the ball at her feet. She's got it now, gets it to Tay. Tay's doing everything right, needs more support well inside the attacking half. She'll go wide now to Lawson. Lawson again camped on the sidelines. She'll come inside a couple of opponents, one of them Turner, to the top of the penalty area. Intercepted again by Galicio. They get those numbers back inside the penalty area, Heidelberg. Trying to park the bus, leading 1-0 at the moment. Then a shot is wide and well stopped by Mossman, who parried it down to her own advantage, and it came from the boot of Yakonis. On the left-hand upright, and she had that well controlled then. It was off target. Turnover again by Alamein. Urgency in their game. Checker, past her, leaves it for Alonso. Alonso down the right-hand side. Back now to Lawson. Lawson again, backtracking. Takes the ball inside the penalty area at the top of the 6-yard box. Stopped again by Monica Fanoia. Good defence. Lobs it out now to Boulderston. Boulderston to clear, but she might have put that over the sideline. She has. Gee, she's been good, Monica Fanoia, for a youngster. She knows where to stand. She parks herself between the penalty area and the goalkeeper, Mossman, to lend her support as the most defensive non-goalkeeper out there. That's why they're holding on to a 1-0 lead. Taken again as they turn it over Alamein. This is Sardo bursting her way through to the penalty area. Good pass to Alonso. Alonso shoots and scores! She did everything right, Mossman. She was camped on the left-hand side, but she aimed from that left-hand side. Alonso, we know she can finish brilliantly, her 20th goal of the season, and she put it in the right-hand corner. I have a feeling that Mossman might have just got a little finger on that. That had power on it. And brutality, that shot from Rachel Alonso. And we know if she can get a bit of space, she'll finish every day of the week. It's 1-1 between Alamein and Heidelberg. That was better. You just felt that dam wall was eventually going to cave in as far as Heidelberg were concerned, because they've had so much of the ball, Alamein. They just haven't been able to finish their passes in the final third because of the fact that Heidelberg have had their numbers back. Again, they had them back, but Alonso was able to, just being little, was able to squeeze her way through in that left-hand side, and most of the numbers were more back in a central location inside the penalty area. So it's 1-1. Terrific goal by Alonso. Allen, lobbing ball, intercepted by Tay, puts it over the sideline. In the defensive half of Alamein, one of the rare times Heidelberg have ventured forward, and they now have to change the way they play a bit, the Warriors, because even though a draw will be okay for them, one game in hand from South Melbourne, put them 3 points clear going into this round. And even if South Melbourne have won this round, they've still got a game in hand from them. There's a big match coming up on August 11th between the two to be played in Heidelberg, or to be played at Heidelberg, as Emma Checker just doesn't understand what the ref is doing, because on 2 occasions here he's called the ball back from the throw. Again, she just needs to forget about it. She can put a complaint in with the club later. Here comes Sardo. She beats a couple of opponents, Allen in particular, but Garcia stands her ground at halfway and Heidelberg win possession, but Lawson's there. Lawson does well to just lope in after it, win possession inside the attacking half for Alamein again, down the right-hand side, putting some pressure on her as Boulderston, putting some pressure on her as Rovers, and it's put over the sideline. It's thrown back in by Lawson, headed down by Turner. Good ball by Lawson, deep to the 6-yard box. Headed down again by the defence of Whanua, who then's worried about her hair, but she manages to put it back in her hair tie as Allen wins possession in midfield. She tried to get the pass to Garcia, but again cut off by the defenders who get back in time. Long ball by Johnson, stopped by Mossman. No, not very well. Couldn't control it. Here's Alonso again. She puts it in the back of the net. Oh dear, I thought Mossman had that covered. I thought she'd controlled it and vacuumed it up inside the 6-yard box, but she couldn't control it, and Alonso got around an opponent and puts her second in 3 minutes as the defender got back, and, well, she was nowhere to be seen then, Mossman. She couldn't stop that one, and maybe to be fair to her, that was travelling a bit quicker than she anticipated, and she couldn't quite control it. Originally, it looked like she should have been able to take that in one grab, but Alonso puts it into the back of the net. A great finish and a double for her, and obviously the spray she's received at half-time and during the first half has worked. She's got 21 goals, and Alamein now lead 2-1. As quick as that. Goalkeeping error by Mia Mossman, who've been so good up until that point. Now Allen, really chasing the game now, Heidelberg. Out to the right-hand side. Torre controls it, does well. Looking for someone to run onto it, but the defender's getting back. Schneider, such an accomplished defender. They've got the beauty of having her on the bench for a large portion of the match. She came on at half-time and she's gone back into a central defensive location, and they've put Checker in the midfield. So lots of experience. Schneider receives the ball just outside the penalty area. And again, they're sagging back, Heidelberg. They've got to attack now. They're chasing the game down 2-1. 2 quick goals to Alonso early in this half. Lawson receives the ball from Tay, still in the defensive half. Tay again has Schneider. No one really running at her for Heidelberg. Getting back again, right on halfway. The 3 most attacking players, Anastopoulos, Balderston and Garcia. And eventually, Anastopoulos gets inside the defensive half and puts it over the sideline. Throw back into play by Sardo. Johnson nods it down back to the bootlaces of Sardo. Sardo lobs it towards Alonso. Good header away by Galicio. Good play by Garcia, but only down as far as Goff of Alamein, who does well to play to her own advantage. Runs out of room and coming across her path. Angels fair to tread. Wonderful piece of work by Monica Whanua. Great challenge. Puts it over the sideline. What a great young defender she is. So Goff will throw it back. Sardo's on her own, controls to her own advantage, and then shoves her opponent out of it. That's good play. Sardo will lob it up to the edge of the penalty area. Controlled by Checker. Past her again. Was going quickly, couldn't control it. Vacuumed up in the goal mouth by Mossman. That was easier for Mia Mossman on that occasion. 2-1, the lead for Alamein. The ball lands inside the defensive half for Alamein. Cleared by Tay. High ball. Allen there tried to chest it down, but no one to help her out. Yakonis and Pastor combining for Alamein. Good pass, Pastor to Yakonis. Down the left-hand side, through ball for Goff. Missed by Torres to the top of the penalty area. Lawson arrives, but unfortunately for Lawson, she hits the side net just as Ellen Turner came across her path, and it will be a goal kick. Looking a bit disorganised at the back all of a sudden, Heidelberg in this half as they trail 2-1. Mossman gets it now to Galicio. Miskicks it. Turned over by Checker. Back now to Lawson. It's all being played inside the attacking half for Alamein. Lawson, good whipping ball to the top of the 6-yard box. Great header again by Monica Whanua of Heidelberg. Daniela Galicio gets a little ball on that, but that'll go over the sideline. And Tay takes it again. We'll go back immediately to Schneider in the defensive half. Switching. Sardo. Schneider. Tay. Johnson. Good contest with Sabre. They both go to ground, and she might have hurt herself a bit then, Johnson. She comes off second best. She's limping. Sardo gets up, brushes herself off and gets ready for the next encounter. Rebecca Sabre of Heidelberg, but it's all Alamein at the moment. They win possession. Pastor switches out now to the left-hand side to Sardo. Does well again. Good ball to Goff to the top of the penalty area. Checker, but kicks into bodies. Good clearance by Heidelberg, but only as far as Yakonis. Staying back is the most defensive attacking player inside the attacking half for Alamein, winning all possession in their attacking half. Again, good defence. Finding Tay. Tay down the right-hand side, looking for a way through, but intercepted by Turner, who puts it over the sideline. Sardo's been good today, hasn't she? She kept them in the game early days when they looked a little bit lost and just out of sorts and lethargic and even lacklustre in the first half. And I'm sure their coach told them at half-time, as we could hear him in the bellows of the change rooms underneath the roof where we're broadcasting from for Football Victoria. And once again, another corner is conceded for Alamein as Heidelberg have to get players deep. Or is it a throw? It might be a throw. No, it's not. It's going to be a corner. And they might go for a little bit of a set piece here, Alamein, as Alonso is standing a couple of metres away from the corner taker, Julia Sardo. Alonso scored the 2 goals in this half after being very quiet and all at sea in the first half. So Sardo takes the pace off it, lobs to the 6-yard box. The header down by Lawson, but well taken on the left-hand side by Mossman. Took it comfortably with great authority. Drives Heidelberg inside the attacking half. Garcia was trying to get there, but Yakonis got in the road. The coach saying, was there some handball? The Heidelberg coach, Bill Michaelides. No, there wasn't. Getting lost a little bit was Boulderston. Trying to take them on Yakonis. She went to ground, holding her ground rovers, allowing Boulderston to win possession in the defensive half and put over the sideline aggressively by Pastor. And it will be a Heidelberg ball just inside the defensive half. Ellen Turner will take it. Checker gets onto Boulderston. Instructions from the coach. Boulderston just keeps it alive, but the pass is turned over again. Johnson inside the attacking half. Alonso onside. Down the right-hand side, looking to whip it towards the penalty area. But unfortunately, Goff couldn't get there in time, trying to thrush the leg out. She goes after it again. Showed great recovery. It's put over the sideline by Torre, who's one of the quickest players out there for Heidelberg. And again, Alamein win possession inside their attacking half. Sardo to take it. No, Goff will take it. So the 2 subs have certainly worked, allowing Taylor Schneider to go back. And Goff has come on for Lemieux and Lafleur, respectively. Long ball again. Great effort by Sardo, but a terrific stop by Mossman, who got back, got a hand out and put it over the crossbar. That's an excellent save from a long ball on target from Alamein, who are all over Heidelberg like a cheap suit at the moment. And after missing out with that attempted save earlier on where she bobbled it in the 6-yard box and Alonso put it away, that was a great save from a long, long ball. We've seen a lot of long goals kicked in the women's competition this year. And that was nearly one right on target, at least 10 metres away from the penalty area from Sardo. But a great stop by Mia Mossman. Another corner, though, for Alamein, for Mossman to having to contend with in the 6-yard box. Headed down by Lawson. Headed down again by Checker. Lawson heads it again, 2 metres outside the goal mouth. And she jumps up and down on the spot in frustration as it clears the crossbar. Bit dangerous for Heidelberg. Dangerous for Mia Mossman. Hearts in mouth stuff. But they still trail 2-1. Heidelberg after scoring in the first half. 2 goals in the second half by Rachel Alonso's put her team in front. Still inside the attacking half. Alamein complete control here as eventually Boulderston wins possession for Heidelberg. Inside ball, tried to get it towards Sabre. Turnover, Galicio at the back, the goal scorer from a set piece for Heidelberg in the first half to put their team in front. Gets it inside the attacking half, taken by Tay. Some work for Barbieri to do at the back. She'll take her time. Giving her a lead, a decent lead is Checker. Helping out in defence. Goes wide again. Sardo been wonderful, as we said. Turnover at halfway by Rovers of Heidelberg. Here's Garcia, hasn't had much of it. Doesn't need many chances to score a goal. Well turned over in midfield. Should be a free for a hold. Get on with it. The Alamein players keep arguing with the ref. He doesn't give them a free kick. It allows Turner to run onto it on the switch. Coming across their path. Well played by Yakonis to get involved in the challenge. Now Lawson wins possession, shoves her opponent off. Still in the defensive half, searching run by Jana Lawson. Finds Alonso on the right-hand side. Pushes it forward looking for Lawson, but stopped at the back by Fenoya. Now Fenoya to Galicio for Heidelberg in the defensive half. Turnover again. Yakonis charging through, but puts it over the sideline. Heidelberg's ball. 2-1 lead, but what you like about Alamein, whether they're behind or in front, they're still looking to score. Scored the second most number of goals in the competition this year. They've got 81. They've conceded 28. Taken now down the right-hand side. Long ball by Sabre as she received in midfield. Still inside the defensive half, but she puts it over the sideline for Heidelberg. Got a few players to come back, Heidelberg. The number one goalkeeper, Christina Fenoy. Not that Mossman hasn't done a bad job today. And, of course, her sister Lisa, who's been so solid and robust and strong at the back all year. Hopefully back before the finals if they get there, and certainly at the back end of the season to try and get them in the finals. Heidelberg get it inside the attacking half. Volley ball by Taylor Schneider wasn't controlled properly. Ricochets out the right-hand side to Anastopoulos to the 6-yard box, but camped on the right-hand side, protecting the right upright, is Barbieri, and she vacuums it up comfortably inside the box. She goes on the left, awkward kick, but inside the attacking half. Headed back inside the attacking half for Heidelberg by Alan Turner, one of the defenders. Slipping over is Balderston. Taken by Tay. Now to Lawson, front of our commentary position. Back to Tay. Tay has been so accomplished and so cool, calm and collected with the ball today. Switches out now to Sardo. Sardo finds Goff arriving. Goff still in the defensive half. Now inside the attacking half to Alonso. But good play, Rovers. Two defenders. Rovers helps out Galicio on Alonso and they push it over the sideline. Again, they win possession. Goff down to Alonso. She misses it. At the back for Neuer. Taken by Johnson. That just gets past Mossman again. It dives all over it, but luckily for her, it was off target. It was a left foot shot that looked awkward from the boot of Lucy Johnson. And luckily, Mossman couldn't control that. Made it look a lot worse than it was. 2-1 the lead. Mossman goes short, intercepted by Lawson, still inside the attacking half. Johnson again goes long and high, and she scores another long goal from long range. Bad turnover by Mossman. Lawson volleyed it. Johnson goes for the long shot, the long drive from about 5 metres outside the penalty area, and Mossman was misreading it as it went past her and over her as she tried to get an outstretched arm to it, but it had too much power, too much accuracy on it. Lovely long goal by Lucy Johnson, her 10th goal of the season. Beautiful goal, 3-1 Alamein. Certainly putting some space on Heidelberg now. And Mossman just not able to read that properly as Alamein win possession once more. Galicio at the back. Sabre again. They just can't get any decent ball at the moment. It's all dirty ball and they get it inside the attacking half. Heidelberg, as Alamein did concede the first goal, but gee, that rocket that looks like they received has worked wonders. Turnover though by Allen as they tried to clear defence in Alamein. Taken by Anastopoulos, but Schneider's a big body right behind her. Whipped it off her. Well done, Taylor Schneider. Gets it to Goff. Gee, they've added a lot, those two players, since coming on. Good ball, Johnson, down to Goff on the left-hand side. She charges after it. She keeps it alive. Players running now to try and set something up for her. Inside the 6-yard box, Alonso's there. As she nearly ran out of room on the byline, Goff. And Alonso puts it over the byline. I thought she had last touch for Alamein. And Emma Checker again is saying, come on, sideline eye. That had to be our ball that Heidelberg had last touch, but I thought Alamein had last touch. This ref is trying to keep control of the match, but Emma Checker's been in his face for the entire match. Forget about it. They're up 3-1. He's made his decision. Get on with it. He's not going to change his mind. Back into play by Mossman. Headed down by Pastor. They've still got possession inside their attacking half through Goff. Back to Checker now. Can she score a long-range goal? She elects to go for a little sideways pass to Tay. Tay's been great, giving them run all day. She'll pass to Lawson. Again camped on the right-hand side. Turns Alan Turner inside out. Inside the penalty area. Inside the 6-yard box. Lobs to the top of the goal square. Johnson gets a little header on it. Good clearance by Heidelberg. Gee, they did well. Allen eventually got a boot on it in the penalty area and cleared down the right-hand side by Heidelberg's Garcia, but again only as far as Sardo. Allen tried to take it away from her. Sardo controls it nicely. Back now to Schneider, just inside the attacking half. Now to Alonso again. Alonso curls it towards the top of the 6-yard box, cleared again by Rovers of Heidelberg. Schneider's in the road again, almost at halfway for Alamein. Ball slips to Sabre. Sabre and Pastor. Pastor's been better in the second half. Sabre does well to beat her. That was well done, Rebecca Sabre of Heidelberg. Lobbing ball. Anastopoulos can't control it. Tay gets on the right side. Back to Garcia. Back to Tay. And Anastopoulos slips over. She might have hurt herself then in that exchange with Tay, and it's over the sideline. They're going to stop. Fair enough. It's parry and thrust, isn't it? Coach will be delighted with the way they've played in this second half. He's the old-fashioned coach as the Heidelberg girls come up to Savannah Anastopoulos, one of their new inclusions. From Bayside, I lost a number of players a few weeks ago. We've spoken about Margot Rabin going to Bulleen, and she's added more impetus to their attack, which already had Camilleri and also Quigley and Friend in that side. Friend more as a midfielder. Georgopoulos has gone to play some football at South Melbourne. They've got a lot of injuries with their goalkeepers at the moment. In their last match, when they were beaten by Bulleen on Monday night, they had to use Kelsey Minton, who's their leading goal scorer with 15, as a goalkeeper because of the fact that their top two goalkeepers or their first two pick goalkeepers are not there. Their second goalkeeper, Karitsakos, has decided to give away soccer for the time being, and the number one goalkeeper, Aaron Hudson, suffered a bad shoulder injury in that physical match recently against Calder. So Anastopoulos just sort of fell over, almost her own feet, near Melissa Barbieri in the 6-yard box as she was involved in that really good exchange to get her team inside the attacking half. Gets a bit of attention from the physio and the doctor. She's still limping a bit, trying to walk it off. So there'll be a bit of injury time here as a few of the players are in different groups. And the Heidelberg girls will bring it in now. She looks okay now, Savannah Anastopoulos. She might get some spray just in that lower leg or ankle area. I have a feeling that there might be a change here. Is she coming off? They haven't made one yet, Heidelberg. Yeah, it looks like she is coming off. So a bit of a delay, 3-1 lead. Or is she coming back on? She's just waiting on the sideline. No, I think she's okay, Savannah Anastopoulos. So Boulderston will win possession after about a 2 or 3 minute delay. Back to Tay. In fact, it's Alamein winning possession. Tay to Sardo, and on the switch again. Sardo will go inside the attacking half. Alonso looks to control it. Oh, turns her inside out brilliantly to Lawson down the right-hand side. That's a good pass. Lawson trying to get on goal side and does now. To the top of the 6-yard box. Stopped by Mossman. That was well played. Back now to Alonso. Beats one, beats two. Stopped by Mossman again. Two great saves by Mia Mossman. Well played by Mia Mossman as she did well to knock that away as it was heading into the right-hand corner. Could have been worse then for Heidelberg, but the stand-in goalkeeper, and Christina Fenoya is down on the bench next to the coach, Bill Michaelides, after breaking her nose last week. She'd be proud of Mia's effort then on 2 occasions. Reactionary play in the goal mouth to stop another goal for Alamein. And Rachel Alonso is one of those looking to add to the scoreline. Would have been her 3rd goal. She's got a brace so far. It's 3-1. Lucy Johnson has a goal as well. Taylor Schneider wins possession again. They're just cutting everything off as she stands on her own in the defensive half. As is Sardo will win possession again from Tay, who goes back. As Heidelberg still try and have all their players in the defensive half to defend. Lucy Johnson's there again. She wins the ball in midfield. Taken comfortably by Yakonis, who's been good again. Down to Tay. Tay on the right-hand side. Lobs it towards Checker. Can she get there? No. And coming the other way and cleaning it up in the 6-yard box is Mossman, the goalkeeper of Heidelberg. 3-1 the lead. Almost 4-1, almost maybe 5-1. But she's made a couple of great saves on target in this half, Mossman. As this time, Boulderston has a chance to receive a through ball, but had too much on it and over the byline, cleaned up at the back by Barbieri of Alamein. One of the rare 4-8s forward in this second half for Heidelberg, who was so impressive in the first half, getting numbers back and just making it almost impossible for Alamein to go through the middle of the pitch, which they've managed to do a lot more easily in this second half. Pass to Schneider from Barbieri. Schneider down the left-hand side. Good ball to Sardo. Sardo to Goff. Back to Sardo. Still in the defensive half. Barbieri will receive again a defensive ball in the penalty area. Back to Tay. So good today. Arguably the best player. Was the one that kept them on song in the first half when a lot were struggling. Tay now to Alonso. Controls it at her bootlaces. Goes out wide to Lawson. Lawson volleys it. Two opponents near her. Turns Turner inside out. Gets it inside the penalty area to the dangerous Johnson. Tried to backheel it. Couldn't control it. It is over the byline. But I have a feeling that Heidelberg might have touched it last. They did. And Sardo will be the corner taker as Ioannidis is getting ready to come on for Heidelberg. And Anastopoulos, who came back on after that injury, will come off. She's done a pretty good job, Savannah Anastopoulos. Giving her team good service since crossing from Bayside. So a good ball to the top of the penalty area, but not controlled by Heidelberg. Back to Alamein, receiving against Sardo. From Alonso, working hard past Orr, just near the 6-yard box, hanging on to Fenoya, and it will be Heidelberg's ball at the back. So Catherine Ioannidis getting a decent run for Heidelberg in their first substitution. Mossman. Galicio down the left-hand side. Ioannidis was out. Over the sideline, turnover. They just haven't been able to go through the middle of the park either in this half, Heidelberg. Because if you have a look at the defenders, they've been on their own. Just sag back, just inside the defensive half, Schneider and also Sardo, and to a lesser extent Tay, well organised. Back inside their attacking half, again Alamein. Lawson has the ball again. In fact, it's hardly been out. She's looking to find a way through. Ioannidis meets her. Turner's there as well. Good ball to Alonso, top of the penalty area. Good ball on the right-hand side, but there's no one there to control it for her team, and it wasn't controlled cleanly either by Heidelberg. Luckily, they get it out of trouble for the time being. And a long ball from Sardo. Plenty on it. About 5 metres out, similar to Johnson, but it didn't have enough elevation, and it's cleaned up at the back by the goalkeeper in Mossman. 3-1 the lead. Ball's bobbling around at halfway. Won again by Yakonis. Or she might have started Rovers, who came the other way. She gets up a little bit gingerly. And it will be going the way of Heidelberg. Bit of studs up there by Alamein, and the ref issues a warning. I don't think he's Alamein's best friend today. I think he's done a good job, but I think at times he's lost control of it because of the fact that Alamein have been angry with some of his decisions. They headed down by Schneider as the free kick was taken. Gee, she knew where her goalkeeper was. She controlled that pretty nicely, that Nodder going in a defensive direction, and Barbieri was at the back. Galicio looking to turn it over. Ioannidis at halfway. Gets it past Tay on 2 occasions. Boulderston to Ioannidis, who does well. She beats Yakonis. She's on the left-hand side now. Catherine Ioannidis for Heidelberg. Inside the penalty area. Well done by Ioannidis to get across her path. Back again to Ioannidis, but it rolls over the byline on the left-hand side. Ball comes back now. Tay from Barbieri. Lawson back to Barbieri, having to run a bit. The 39-year-old does well. Out to Schneider. Sure, she's got plenty of good football left in her. Schneider to Goff. And Schneider, the two subs coming on at half-time. Sharing with Sardo has been very good, along with Tay, who's been magnificent. In defence, on their own again. Getting a lot of easy ball to try and set things up with their team leading 3-1. She'll lob it down that right-hand side. Coming across their path, though, Galicio does well to get a header in there. Goes in after it again as it falls at the feet of Lawson. Lawson's a tall player, controls to her own advantage. Galicio tried to get a boot in, couldn't. Lawson works her way through, and then she brings down Sabre. Coming the other way, who's standing her ground, Rebecca Sabre of Heidelberg. It will be a free kick well inside the defensive half for Heidelberg at the southern end. 3-1 the lead after Heidelberg led 1-0 at half-time. A brace in the second half to Rachel Alonso, who would have incurred the wrath of the coach, who gave them a spray at half-time. Chance for Ioannidis to get it inside the attacking half. But a free kick going the way of Alamein again in the defensive half. And Jessica Tay, bit of studs up action from both sides in the last couple of minutes. Back now to Schneider. It's going to be a change here. Looks like Heidelberg, or I should say Alamein, are about to inject their third sub. Here's Johnson with the ball inside the attacking half. Down to Sardo. Good through ball, but Alonso was issuing instructions and wasn't ready for it. So Galicio said, I will intercept, and gets it out to Ioannidis on the left-hand side for Heidelberg. Inside the attacking half looking for Turner, but again Tay's in the road, circumventing it. Back now to Checker. Down that right-hand side, too much for Lawson, who was in pursuit. And the defenders were looking to get back inside the attacking half. I can smell food. Meat. And they put on a good spread at the end of the game here, Alamein, having had the privilege of being invited once by Steve and the staff at Alamein, always look after us here for Football Victoria. They lead 3-1 and they'll be in a good mood because it looks like they'll win again and stay in touch with the top two. Having made the finals regularly in recent years. Calder, of course, favourites to win the Premier's Plate. Bulleen, the reigning champs, finding form late in the season, going into this round, having won their last 5. As, again, Checker moved into the midfield in the second half. 3 opponents around her. Controls it nicely. Back to Tay. Still inside the attacking half. Good ball to Alonso. Pushes it on to Pastor. Wasn't ready for it. But Rovers was on the turnover for Heidelberg. Back now to Allen. Allen dribbles it on the outside towards Ioannidis. Ioannidis has Tay meeting her, and Tay beats her again. How good has she been? Magnificent today, even when things weren't going well in the first half. Back to Schneider inside the penalty area in the defensive half. Through the legs of Tay. I have a feeling, I thought Tay did that deliberately, thinking that Heidelberg had the last touch. No, they didn't. Sabre, the throw, down to Turner. Turner now in the middle of the park to Rovers. Rovers out wide to Ioannidis. She can't control it. Alamein ball inside the attacking half. 3-1 the lead in the second half. Round 23 of the Women's Premier League for Football Victoria. 4 rounds left after this. 6 for South, of course, having to make up those 2 games they lost due to the pitch being unsuitable with all the heavy rain in June. One of those against South Melbourne could decide who finishes top 4, probably will decide who finishes top 4. And Heidelberg have got to get a few players back. Galea is also away, and she scored 9 goals, so she's a key member of this side as well. Needs to return. Here's a chance for Tay. Good ball. Oh, I think Lucy Johnson might have done a hammy. Lucy Johnson was in pursuit, and I think she might have. Has she done a hammy or was it cramp? She went after that ball and she clutched her hammy. She's not limping as badly as she was a minute ago. I reckon she is in trouble. If she comes across to try and stop Galicio, she needs to come off, I reckon. Because she's such an important member of the side. She can score goals from long range, as we've seen earlier today. Yeah, I think it's more cramped than anything because she pulled up quickly. She's in pursuit of a through ball inside the attacking half then for Alamein. She's okay as the change is about to be made for Alamein. Turner. They've only made 1 today, Heidelberg. Allen. Back to Turner. Heidelberg's ball inside their attacking half. Garcia being well held again. Tay doing well. Gets it back to Schneider. Bangs it towards halfway. Cleared by Monica Fenoya. Does well, but she kicks it straight into the body of Checker. Checker has Alonso, who's clever, having scored twice. Got her confidence up, and she's brought down by Monica Fenoya. Free kick at halfway for Alamein. And the change is going to occur. Kane coming on. Haven't seen her before for Alamein. Lucy Johnson, I think, will come off. More a precaution. Don't think it's a hammy. More cramp. As she said, she pulled up. She would have come off straight away. She's limping a little bit, but not too bad. So Kane will come on. Opportunity for her late in the match with her team up 3-1 and heading for another victory. So I think there'll be a few minutes added on for extra time or injury time. We saw Anna Stoplis get injured, and she was subbed off a couple of minutes later by Ioannidis. Pass came in to Pastor, too long for her. Hasn't really had a touch today, Marielle Pastor. Stopped at the back by Fenoya, but getting in the road, Sardo, down that left-hand side. She's been great. Tried to get it to Goff. Too long for her, but missed by Fenoya. Back to Goff now. Goff on the charge, on the edge of the penalty area. Rovers is with her, kept on goal side. Now inside the 6-yard box, but she ran out of room. She's claiming to Heidelberg had the last touch, Catherine Goff. Good contest. Rovers did well to stay goal side to protect their goalkeeper then. And no harm done as far as Heidelberg are concerned. It's 3-1. All 3 goals for Alamein in this half. Another change being made. And appears Barlow. The 4th substitution for Alamein, coming on for Marielle Pastor. Orange boots replaces blue boots. She's in a blue headband. And Marielle in an orange headband. As you can see on our screen for our coverage of Football Victoria's Women's Premier League. Back into play Mossman, low and flat. Couldn't take it cleanly, Ioannidis. Pushed back again by the defensive Sardo. Standing on the edge of the penalty area defensively is Barbieri. Receives, gives it to Schneider. Back to Barbieri. Barbieri now assessing her options. A little pass to Schneider. Sharing with Barbieri once again. Hasn't had a lot to do after conceding that early goal. Her team right on top here. Good ball now to Goff. Goff still inside the defensive half. Controls it back to Schneider, who's been so solid and composed since coming on at half-time. Schneider now has to go back to Barbieri. Good pressure by Balderston, forcing Barbieri to think a bit as she ran at her inside the penalty area. Oh, bad turnover, Sardo. Picking a pocket was Ioannidis, but puts it over the sideline on the far side. Still not comfortable, the coach, even though it looks like Alamein will win 3-1. Looks like the top 3. But too good that they've tended to have the measure over the rest of the competition. Once you called have had the measure over everyone. Box Hill did beat them, and Bulleen did beat them. But other than that, they've won comfortably in every match, and even Bulleen conceded 4 goals. The most they've conceded going into this round. They'd only conceded 15 for the season. That's how good Calder are with those plethora of goal-scoring options. As Eva Jordans is getting ready to come on as the second substitution for Heidelberg, number 19. Throw down the right-hand side. Alonso, 2 opponents around her. One of them is Turner. Kicked into bodies. Galicio's there again. And Ivaceka's not happy with that decision. But just, you've got to, again, I hate labouring the point. Just forget about it. She's doing a good job, the sideline referee. She's young, she's enthusiastic. I've seen her in a lot of matches this year. She felt that was the right decision. Her team's 3-1 up. This was what affected Alamein in the first half by getting caught up in some decisions they thought should have gone their way. Forget it. The game is well and truly in their grasp. As Balderston comes off and Jordans comes on. The second substitution made by Heidelberg. They've still got some work to do to make the finals. So the throw Piers Barlow does well to grab the ball. Ricochets towards Jana Lawson, gets a little header in, but in the road is Garcia, long ball. But Schneider's there again, lovely nod, but to no one in particular. Straight to Ioannidis, who controls it all on her own down the right-hand side. But there's no one there. Lobbing ball will be cleaned up by Barbieri. Too much on it for Jordans. And again, it was all red and blue numbers at the back. Tay receives the throw from Barbieri. Through ball. Alonso can't quite control it. It's over the sideline. It will be a Heidelberg ball. Been a good contest with Galicio. She has conceded a couple of goals, but Galicio, a lovely header, did score as well. Good ball down to Jordans. Jordans, though, no one there to clean it up for her team. But kicking into bodies is Yakonis and the body of Ioannidis, who wins it comfortably. All the eyes there. And eventually, and the eyes have it, down the left-hand side, Garcia. She shoved over the sideline. She goes down. Is she in a bit of trouble? She's going to be helped up by the Alamein coach. As Alamein win the ball again through Tay. Tay very careful as she constructs a little pass towards Lawson. Lawson now looking for a way through in the middle of the pitch to Yakonis. Out to Goff, standing on the left-hand side. Approaching her is Torre. Looks for a pass to the top of the penalty area. Intercepted by Robers of Heidelberg. Gets a little touch on it. Down to Ioannidis. Ioannidis can't win it. And nor can her opponent Yakonis. Can't control that Heidelberg ball. Still in the defensive half, where it's been for most of the match at the southern end. Certainly most of this half anyway for the Alamein team. They've dominated, having most of the possession. Even though they were down 1-0 at half-time, they just couldn't construct a decent pass in their final third. They certainly have done that to lead 3-1 in the second half. As again they turn it over in their defensive half. Good play at the back by Yakonis, and Barbieri are now controlled by Sabre, who did well, but once again just throwing it on the boot haphazardly. Stopped by Barbieri again. Good ball to Checker. Good two-way running. Checker now in the defensive half, where she played the first half. Goes back now, Mora holding midfielder in the second half to Tay. Very good defender. And Schneider likewise. And can share it with Sardo, who's on her own if she likes. Back to Tay again. Tay through to Checker on halfway, just inside the attacking half. In front of our commentary position. Good ball to Lawson. Oh, just got that right on the bootlaces. And we had a good look at that one. She looks to take on four opponents. Turner is goal side for Heidelberg. Lawson controls it again. Good contest. Back to the top of the penalty area. Can she shoot, Checker? She tries to shoot. Goes along the carpet, but it was off target. And it got past a diving Mossman. But as I say, off target, so no harm done as far as Heidelberg are concerned. Couldn't get enough elevation or power on that shot, Checker, from outside the penalty area. 3-1. So back into play by Mossman. A few times she's miskicked it and it sailed over the sideline. Trying to get a header on it, Turner to keep it in, and it will again be Alamein's ball inside the attacking half. Kane, one of the subs, about to receive for Alamein, but off target with her shot, as again she'd been hemmed in on the outside. Good defence by Heidelberg to push her on the outside. Set up by Sabre. Scored one goal this year. Got 9 goal scorers. And Alamein 13. Mind you, they have also scored 22 more goals. They love to attack and take the game on. Back into play Mossman. Controlled by Ioannidis. Turned over though by Goff. And then put over the sideline by the defence of Torre of Heidelberg. Once again, well inside the attacking half, as that smell of food gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Getting hungry, as I look at my cameraman James, he's getting hungry as well. Late afternoon. Back into play. Johnson lobs it over the top. The header by Allen, just outside the penalty area. Good defence. High ball came from Robers. And it's going to be a free. And it will go the way of Heidelberg. Again, Emma Checker checks and looks. with the team up 3-1. Mossman back into play, low and flat. Header comes down. But there's going to be a free kick. I think you'll find that there was contact from the boot of Ioannidis, but the head of Sardo is trying to nod that one down as she bent down to take the nod on halfway for Alamein. She manages to turn her opponent Ioannidis inside out. Ioannidis does well to challenge her. Good play, Sardo again, through ball to Alonso. Looking for a hat-trick. She's scored a brace so far. Keeps control of the ball. Savers with her. Has to lob it out wide. Arriving now is Tay. Tay now goes down towards Lawson. Lawson looking to turn Alan Turner inside out, but Alan Turner does well to beat her. Lawson was hanging on to her. That should have been a free. And that's the end of the match. That is the end of the match. A big win for Alamein. They were, I thought, a bit sloppy in the first half. Poor first half. Conceded an early goal from a corner. Great corner by Sydney Allen and nodded in beautifully by Galicio. But then in the second half, after getting a spray from their coach, Alamein, at half-time, they found their way home. And two terrific goals to Rachel Alonso and then a long ranger. And she's been very good at that this year from Lucy Johnson. Got her team home 3-1. And they win their 16th game of the season. For Heidelberg, still well and truly in the race to play in the finals. Remembering they've still got 6 games to play. Have to make up 2 from the 2 that were washed out in June on their pitch. And one of them is against the side, vying probably for that 4th spot, South Melbourne. Even though Box Hill aren't too far behind points-wise, but a long way behind goal difference-wise. Alamein, they'd love to finish second, but at this stage, still a few points behind Bulleen in the battle for a top 4 spot. And they'll certainly be there in the finals as they continue to find a way to score and also win. I thought the match was marred a bit by Alamein's display of petulance at times towards the referee, for want of a better expression. I know I've said that quite a few times. I understand they might have been confused by some of the decisions. The ref threatened to lose control of the game, but at the end of the day, it was his decision and the sideline judge's decision, who I thought did an outstanding job. And she just needed to concentrate on the game, and I thought they took their eye off the game in the first half, and certainly their coach put them back on the game in the second half, and they were very, very good. Mia Mossman did a pretty good job with Christina Fenoya out with that broken nose. She made that one fumble which allowed Alonso to score that second goal. There were a couple of other shots on target that she saved, and I think she can be quite proud of her efforts. But her team going down today, Heidelberg, beaten by Alamein 3-1. Thanks for your company. We'll have more Football Victoria matches next week as we approach the finals and the end of the season. Just 5 rounds left in the Premier League. We look forward to your company then. In fact, 4 rounds left, so we look forward to your company then. Enjoy your week.